Yeah, Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. Queen of Hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to win him early, hear the truth. Tune in every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chiefs podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Quick style. Out here rapping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? You are tuned in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast, episode 211. Today, we got some special guests coming on to talk about Chiefs and Texans this Saturday. We got a Saturday game. It's part of the games in 11 days that the Chiefs and Texans have to do. The NFL, they greedy. They want to get all the games they can to, make these teams play. So, but we got the Texans Fan Battle Podcast on. Fellas, how y'all doing?
Oh, man, feeling good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, man, I can't complain, man. Feeling good myself.
Yes, sir. We're swarming. We're ready.
Okay, cool. All right, man. Tell the audience, a little bit about y'all podcast, how y'all got started, how long y'all been going on, all that good stuff.
Go ahead, Chris. I'll let you kick it off.
Oh, well, I mean, it started from basically, X, Twitter, or however we call it now. Matt seen me, shot me a DM. I didn't know who the hell he was. And, and it went from there. I mean, the rest is history, man. And the reason why his name is A1 since day one, because I've been his A1 since day one, man. And we've been doing this thing now for about 3 years now, Matt?
Yes, sir. 3 years strong.
Yeah, 3 years strong, man. And we didn't had all type of guests, from rappers to politicians, from players, from everything. And it started with two of us, and then we didn't grow to 4 to 5 guys. And, we got merchandise and doing a lot of great things. We didn't cover the draft, when it was in Kansas City a couple years ago. So, we're doing a lot of great things, man. We're getting stronger and bigger and better, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, there's nothing really to add. We know, like you said, we had from little Kiki all the way to Matt Schaub on the show.
Okay.
We also had Tim Grunhard. Last time the Chiefs and Texans played, he came on the show and chopped it up with us. Yeah, man, we started with the dark, gloomy days of Deshaun Watson. Now we are talking glory with the fellow Christian C.J. Stroud. So, we're very blessed to be on this ride.
Nice. All right, let's get into the team, man. Like, this is the second year with DeMeco Ryan, C.J. Stroud, and I just want to get y'all overall feel of the team. There was high expectations going into the season because you guys, you had a great season last year. Ended off in the divisional round against Baltimore. Felt like, you guys were going to build. You got added some pieces, through the draft and free agency. Stephon Diggs, some guys on the defense, Danielle Hunter. How are you guys feeling about the overall team right now?
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I feel like the pieces we made, those are championship pieces. Those are the moves you make, you're going all in. So far, at this point in the season, I feel like the defense has taken a big leap. Defense, got better from last year. They swarming a lot. Turnovers, pressures. A lot of quarterbacks having their reverse game against us. But the offense, that's my concern. The offense is not where I thought it was going to be. We picked up Joe Mixon, picked up Stephon Diggs. The offense is really, really slacking. I'm going to go out and say I think CJ is having a sophomore slump. I think the coaches over the summer, the defensive coaches, learn how to stop him, how to take away the deep threats and everything. And I think that's our biggest problem right there. And we have a defensive coach. So long as his side of the ball is doing good, I don't think he's really too much concerned about the offense side of the ball. So I think that's our, Achilles heels right there. I think if this offense was just mediocre, I think we'd be 12-2 right now.
Okay.
But yeah, the offense is not as advertised before the season that I thought it was going to be a top 3, top 5 offense. I thought our offense was going to look like you guys' offense when you had Tyreek Hill and all those guys right there.
Right.
But it didn't happen that way. But hopefully we can figure some things out, in the last couple of games going into the playoffs, because I want to go into the playoffs, play my best football, not my worst football on the offense.
Right.
Yeah, I'm kind of have to agree. When you make all these moves, you're like, oh man, the Texans are all in. Like we've been saying on the podcast last year, we're 2 to 3 years from making the run. But when you make those moves, you're like, oh, screw those 2 to 3 years. It's time now, right? Like it's go time, and it's just it sucks because Kershaw's right. CJ Stroud is having a sophomore slump. What's
going on?
What's not helping him is Bobby Slowick. I don't know if all those head coaching jobs offers got to his head, but he's not being a good offensive coordinator. The play calls, especially in that second half, have been just straight garbage. Man, it's horrible. And then, of course, the offensive line was everybody thought there would be a top 5 offensive line. You can tell we're bottom of the pack. When last year we had a makeshift line and they were top tier. So it makes you scratch your head what's going on. But I think added that TJ Stroud still learning is affecting him, because now when he hikes the ball, he has his eyes focusing elsewhere than down the field. And like Chris, those defenses, they smarten up, and they learn how to beat CJ Stroud and his play. So he's stepping back a little bit better last couple of games, but he still has a long work to do. But like I said, defense wins championships, and man, this defense, nobody saw this defense being the top 5 defense.
Right.
Most points per game, interceptions, like Chris all said, the sacks, pressures, like they're top tier. And if you look at the quarterbacks that are on the roll right now, you had Tua when he came back from his injury, he was on the roll. Goff, Josh Allen, the Texans made them all have their worst game of the season. So it's something to build on, and hopefully, like Chris said, hopefully we ride it to the playoffs and our offense kicks it off, because that's the only way we're going to win.
Right. As far as CJ Stroud goes, I've been a fan of his since I saw him in the semifinals at a Ohio State game against Georgia. I think they would have won that game if Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't get knocked out of the game. So I've been a fan of his, ever since then. I just saw that dog in him, since that game. And then from there, his rookie season, I thought, okay, this kid's going to be the next one, that next hot quarterback in this league. And then this year comes in, and it was high expectations, you know what I'm saying? And, you hear about the sophomore slump and all that stuff. But, I thought he was going to do the proper things to, not have that happen. You know what I'm saying? He seems like a kid that gets in the film room and, studies and, knows what he needs to do to take his game to the next level. And then this season comes and it's like, I don't know. It just seems like it's a little tough for him this year as far as what he's seeing on the field. And, I know a lot of, Nico Collins being out, the first half of the season kind of hurt him. I know that because that's his best receiver on the team. And then also I think Tank Dell's kind of dealing with that too, because Tank was his number 1 receiver last year and they had a connection last year. And it seems like coming into this year is not, I know he's coming off of an injury himself. And it just seems like he's not what he was last year. So yeah, I don't know. They don't have that connection like they had last year. And then, Stephon Diggs, he started building a rapport with Stephon, but then he gets hurt for the season. So, and Joe Mixon has been a godsend for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been.
That's the crazy thing though, right? Like our run blocking offense, was it Chris ranked 29? They're one of the worst ones in the league, and that just shows you the proof of Joe Mixon. He didn't have O-line in Cincinnati, and he's still doing this crazy stuff. Just imagine if he had an offensive line like the Lions. Like it'd be crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was gonna say that too. That offensive line hasn't been, what it was last year. It was stout last year. This year it just seems like, he has to. I always see him having to run out the pocket or run left, run right, just to have time to throw the football down the field. So, yeah, I feel like he's going to be all right, but you know what I'm saying? I just feel like, he's just learning. In the NFL, you got to be a step ahead because these defensive coordinators get paid too. So,
yeah, we make what we say is a joke, but we kind of want it to happen in real life. Is we want what the Chiefs have in the middle. We want some big country white boys. Like we want them to get dirty, not quit worrying about fashion, quit worrying about riding the planes. Like get your fingers in the dirt and let's go. Like we would love a Joe Thuney and Creed Humphrey.
right.
Like I think we get those guys, and with Titus Howard and Lerman Tunsil, we'd be all right. But we did. Our inside lines is terrible.
Next year, we got to pay Trey Smith. So you might be able to get Trey because I don't know if we'll be able to pay him. We got a few guys we got to pay next year. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Trey Smith on the Houston Texans next year. I hope he stays, but I can see him going over to Houston and helping you guys out for sure because he's one of our better. Our interior is our bread and butter to our offensive line. So.
And that's the opposite of us. Our tackles are great, but man, our interior is just
Wish we let us borrow one of your tackles for for a week.
Maybe after Saturday.
Yeah, right. Now let's talk about DeMeco Ryans, man. He's young coach. Had a great year last year. Like you said, this defense has taken a step forward. They're top 5 in most of the categories this year. And, like you said, he's bringing his scheme over. How do you guys overall feel about DeMeco Ryans as a head coach?
I mean, we love him as a head coach. When he got hired, Crenshaw got to go to his press conference and see the team introduce him. It was like homecoming for DeMeco, former player. It's great. He's a good head coach, a good defensive head coach, but I think his style is not modern times. He still plays like he's in the 90s and 80s, where he plays for the clock and not for the win. And as you can tell, many games like the Lions, the Packers, they all come back and they bite us in the butt. And when you play good teams like the Chiefs, like the Bills and whatnot, you can't play that style because if you're going for a shootout, it's bad. It's bad juju there. You just gotta go for the win and quit trying to run the clock out. Chris, what do you think?
I pretty much agree with you on all that. DeMeco, he's been great for the city because the city was broken. The city was broken after the Sean stuff, the Jack Easterby stuff, firing David Culley, Lovie Smith. So the fans was fighting each other. They was talking about, hey man, I'm gonna give me a new team. I might go to Dallas. I might go to Kansas City. I might go to Atlanta. So we had a lot of that going on. And then DeMeco came and brought everybody back together. We had a big family reunion and got everybody back together, and it turned around quickly. Then any of us expected. Nobody saw us going to the playoffs and winning the game last year. So that right there brought everybody back. That's why this season, the season tickets sold out so quickly. Last year, it was no fans at the game until like week 13. If you go back and look at the tape, it was so many empty seats. And then later on in the season, the fans started believing, like, okay, this team is pretty good. So all that because of DeMeco. He's a leader of men. He got these guys playing, and these guys want to play for him. It's just the offensive side, like I said earlier, he's stubborn on the offensive side because he don't about the offense. And our offensive coordinator is his best friend, and he doesn't tell him, hey, bro, let's get it together. He just don't care. It's no way that we should go this many games without scoring touchdowns in the second half. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I guess he say, look, as long as my defense good, I'm good. So you want to ride the defense? I guess we got to ride the defense, run the ball. Ride the defense, run the ball, So, but other than that, great coach, and he was snubbed last year. He should have won the Coach of the Year last year. Should have won it.
Absolutely. It should have been the Texans year last year, like for the awards when it comes for offensive rookie, defensive rookie, and head coach. Look at the Browns coach now. about to be on his way out. I think they got snubbed. But yeah, Crensaw's right. He just brings a different mentality. Swarm, right? Like we swarm to the ball, swarm as a team, be one. Like crap, our boys Crenshaw and Kenneth the Messenger, they wrote a Texans anthem called Swarm. Like it's just a mentality that Houston brought home and H-Town made. Like everybody's throwing up the H's these days, So it's a good day to be the Texans, but when it comes to coaching style, he just got to tune up a little bit. But again, just like CJ, he's a young guy.
Yeah,
D'Amico's second year. It's things he can learn. Rome wasn't built in a day, but
no.
CJ and D'Amico are the first two quarterback and head coach to win the division back to back ever. So I mean that's something you got to hang your hat on. So we'll take it.
Yeah, man, you guys got a good foundation over there, like I said, with D'Amico Ryans, and it's funny, Crenshaw said something about the offensive coordinator being best friends with D'Amico Ryans. Is now that we don't have a Eric Bieniemy, because when we had Bieniemy used to get into Pat when Pat was messing up and his mechanics was off. He's throwing picks, he's doing bad stuff. Even the whole team as a whole, he would always keep the team accountable. He didn't care if it was on camera. I don't care who you are. I don't care you Patrick Mahomes. I'm gonna tell you right here, right now, you messing up. You need to get your shit together. And now we got Nagy. A lot of people don't like Nagy because he's like so in awe of Andy Reid. So he just when Andy Reid don't do certain things that we don't like run the football when he needs to run the football, Nagy just kind of goes along with it. So it's just like we have that same issue. So I can feel what you guys are saying.
Yeah, me and Crenshaw have been big Eric Bieniemy guys.
He should be a head coach. He should be a head
coach. we wanted him to be the OC with him or Cliff Kingsbury was our two choices, but of course went with Bobby Slowick. But yeah, I even told the group chat down, man. The Chiefs haven't been the same since Eric Bieniemy left. Like I mean, they had worse receivers they do now. And the offense was cooking, and so it's just like I think they're missing Bieniemy more than they think.
Yeah, as far as our offense goes, I think that look, we came in this year because last year it was just horrible. MVS was he was just terrible, dropping every pass that was thrown to him.
Yeah,
and Sky Moore didn't he didn't come to what everybody thought he was going to be, being a second round pick. And Kadarius Toney, yeah, he was just terrible too. But I think this year, what I'm saying, we was getting Hollywood Brown and Rice, and Hollywood gets hurt the first game of the preseason. So it's just like, damn. All right, cool. We still got Rice. We still got Xavier Worthy. We still got Travis Kelce. Then, Rice gets hurt in the Chargers game thanks to Patrick Mahomes. Then he's out. So now it's like, damn, now we're down to a rookie and Travis Kelce, but he's getting older, so he's not the same Travis Kelce that we all come to love. Then we get D-Hop, and which D-Hop, for what we traded for him, I'm happy for what D-Hop is giving us. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna complain about D. I think D-Hop is giving us a stable number one wide receiver, and then to allow Xavier Worthy to develop and be the receiver that we drafted in the first round. He's starting to get it a little bit more. They still got to work on, the deep shots down the field. Him and Pat still ain't got that yet, but, other stuff he's learning and getting better at. But I do agree, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think losing those two guys, Rice and Brown, it kind of threw our offense off this year.
Well,
so.
I don't know.
Losing Pacheco in the beginning of the season.
I don't know if you know this, but I made a graphic for our show. Every year that the Chiefs get a ex-Texan, they win the Super Bowl. The first one was the Honey Badger.
Okay.
Won the Super Bowl. The next one was Justin Reed. He won the Super Bowl. Okay. Last year was Charles Omenihu.
Right.
Now DeAndre Hopkins, we'll see. We'll see if that's the case.
We look at it like that.
yeah, it's crazy, right?
So. Yeah. I ain't looking like that for sure. All right, fellas, let's talk about y'all division, AFC South. Now, you know what I'm saying? You got the Colts, you got Jacksonville, and the Titans. Now we know the Titans. I'm not I got another podcast I do, and my co-host would tell you I'm not a big Will Levis fan. I think he's terrible. I think he's a horrible quarterback. Whatever. The Titans they're a non-factor. They ever since Vrabel left out the building, they just been downhill. Then you have Jacksonville. We thought Jacksonville, all right, they'll bounce back. Trevor Lawrence will have a bounce back season. That didn't happen. They look bad. Trevor Lawrence is out for the season. Then you have the Colts with Anthony Richardson. There's been a lot of drama over there with the Colts. The whole patting out of the game. He gets benched. He comes back. He looks better, but he still got some things he need to work on. So it looks like this division right now is yours to have. You know what I'm saying, for the next few years. Anything can happen next year. Teams get better year to year, but this is y'all division. But how do y'all feel about the AFC South as a whole?
Chris, I'll take it away, brother.
Well, what you just said, I agree with you. This is our division to run. But I thought the same way about the Jaguars, and in 2017 when they had a great defense and they went to the AFC Championship, and then the following year they just fell apart. So that's how fast things can just fall apart. Now we have a coach that won't allow that, and we have CJ hopefully going to year 3 where you're really going to evaluate your quarterback that won't allow that as well. I think the coach reached on Anthony Richardson. His film wasn't good in college.
Right.
Oh. Well, yeah, I'll kind of help him finish out. Yeah, you hope that Anthony Richardson grows to be the quarterback that you think he is, right? Like you spend a 4th round pick or 5th pick overall on him. So you hope he is, but man, how do you be a quarterback and you take yourself out of the game? Like just because you're tired, like regardless, like if you want out of the game, say you're hurt or something, don't tell these guys you're tired. Like what are you gonna do on the game's on the line and you need these guys to give some more effort? They're gonna look at you like you're a fool, man. You just took yourself out of the game because you're too tired. So I think he has a lot to grow, but with a head coach like Shane Steichen, I think that is a good matchup. They got a lot to fix on defense. Their secondary linebackers are kind of questionable. Their edge is great. Their defensive tackle Buckner is just a monster. So I think I give them another year before they really start testing the Texans. But they're just growing. Jaguars. I said this year we have another show called the AFC South Fan Battle Podcast, and I told them on there if Doug Peterson stays there with Pep Taylor, it's a wrap because the offensive schemes is garbage, the play calls is just garbage, and we've seen it. Trevor Lawrence, everyone thinks he's the bad quarterback. He's not bad. He's just in the bad system and a bad coaching. The offense lines is terrible. So until they fix that and get new, I think they get a new head coach. I think they get a whole new branding, which they need to. I still think they're going to be in 4th place. Now, I just said the Titans are going to be 3rd. I'm with you. Last year at the end of the season, I thought Will Levis did show some promise, and I said this is the year to see because you got an offensive head in mind coach. Yeah, your offensive line was trash last year, but now you got the best offensive line coach in the whole NFL. Like Callahan is the greatest of all time. So now this is, and then you got D-Hop from last year. You go get Boyd. You go get Ridley. Now you got the weapons. You go get Tony Pollard. Like now is the time to show what kind of quarterback you are, and you just stinks it up. I don't see that as a stepping stone. So don't be surprised if the Titans go get like Cam Ward or a Sanders if available. Like if the quarterback is available, I think the Titans go that way. It's hard to build off of that, but yeah, I think it's the Texans for at least one more year until the Colts get everything together. But yeah, we thought the AFC South was going to be one to mess with, but actually it's not. So tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, Will, the thing about Will Levis is this: he'll make like 3 throws, and you'll be like, okay, okay,
Right. And then he
I
makes 4 throws,
see
and you're
it.
like,
What was
yeah.
that? You throwing it in triple coverage? What are you doing, man? And even the head coach, he's Brian O'Connor. He's like, what are you doing? Like, I've seen him do that a couple times. What are you doing? Like, what is that? Like, and it's just bad. Now they about to start Mason Rudolph, and it's just bad. I personally, I think they go to the veteran way next year and go get a veteran quarterback, and then probably try to get Arch Manning or somebody for the next year draft, because they're not getting Shador, they're not getting Cam. They're probably going to be with the Raiders, and one's going to be with the Giants. So I don't see them, either one of them, going to the Titans. So they'll probably have to wait a year later to get a quarterback. As far as Jacksonville, I don't know. I hear y'all with Trevor Lawrence, but there's just something missing with Trevor Lawrence to me.
It's time, man. Like the dude gets beat up so bad. Even last year when he was playing great, he got hurt, and that's when it went downhill. Just can't stay
I know
healthy.
he had that shoulder injury last year, and I get all that. But even when he's healthy, it's just like they was trying to make this dude like he was a generational talent, and I don't see.
No, yeah,
I see a good quarterback. I don't see a generational talent.
He's not up there with the Pat Mahomes, the Joe Burrows, the Josh Allen. But is he like borderline, like Philip Rivers was back in the day? Yeah, I can see him being borderline. Like I can see him being good, just not great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. So, let's talk about this MVP conversation right now, because they're pretty much the two MVP in the MVP conversation in the AFC, and it's Josh Allen and it's Lamar Jackson. Now, to me, this year I got to give it to Josh Allen. This year he's not making the crucial interceptions. He's not doing he's amazing, but sometimes Josh Allen can do some amazing stuff, but it'll debunk itself because he'll throw a bad pick or he'll fumble the football or do something. He's not doing that this year. This year he's making all the good plays and not turning the football over. It's just his defense kind of puts him in bad positions sometimes, and he can't overcome that. But for the most part this season, he has moments. The moments where the 4th and 1 or the 4th and 2 against the Chiefs, last week against the Lions. Like, he has moments that puts him on top of the MVP conversation to me. Lamar Jackson has been amazing, but he's had some bad moments too, so I have Josh Allen as the MVP. I just wanted to get y'all opinion who y'all think is the MVP this year.
I'll go first on this one. Like, Josh, quarterback wise, I give it to Josh Allen because, they probably have the same amount of weapons on the receiver side, when it comes to the talent wise. But give Josh Allen a running back like Derrick Henry. Like that, give them the ability to run the option like they're doing in Baltimore. It's a cheat code, man.
Yeah, it is.
Like you're right, he makes some great passes, but people forget about his ability to run the ball. Josh Allen's ability to run the ball is fantastic, and I agree with you, Lamar. He's playing great football, but like you said, when it's time to crunch down, it's that Lamar that we know where he just kind of disappears. And that's what's happened. Yeah, everybody said, "Well, look what he did last week. It's against the Giants, guys. Like chill
exactly.
out, chill out. It's against the Giants. He's kind of disappearing. But honestly, I don't think neither of those two win the MVP. I think it's a guy that we all thought was going to the Texans because of all the chatter. I think it's going to be Saquon Barkley. I think he's going to be the first running back to win it in a while. What he's doing in Philadelphia is magical. And dude, I don't care what you said. The play of the year is that backwards hurdle. Like the dude is a Madden game in real life. The way he runs is just. I was down on the Texans getting him because I thought he was injury prone. Well, he's making me eat crow. So I think Barkley's the guy to win it this year. What about you, Crenshaw?
Well, man, you stole my thunder because I was gonna say Barkley as well. I was gonna say, Barkley first running back is Adrian Peterson to win MVP. But if it doesn't go to Barkley, I got to go with Josh Allen because when Josh Allen lost Stephon Diggs, lost Gabe Davis, I thought he was going to regress.
Me too.
And he started the season off. I think he went, I don't know, the first 4 games with no interceptions or some crazy stat like that.
Right.
He's been the entire offense. He's running the ball, passing the ball. He's doing a lot of things out there. Without Josh Allen, they won't have as many wins as they have right now. Like you said, the defense has been letting them down, put them in, bad situations and everything. So I would say Josh Allen because it's a quarterback league. They're not going to give it to Barkley because they love the quarterbacks.
Right.
So it's going to be Josh Allen.
I could also see them giving it to Jared Goff on this reason. The Lions offense.
Not since last week, and he beat him in his own team.
I get that. I get that aspect, but what does everybody love? They love exciting offenses.
They do,
and there's nothing more exciting than the Lions right now. It reminds me of the Rams back in the day. Like the dudes just.
I hear you. But here's my thing about Jared Goff. I've seen Jared Goff throw for 85 yards, and they win the game.
Well, you're right. That's what everybody tells me too. He threw for 85 yards. But you know how many touchdowns he threw?
Like
5. Five.
Yeah.
So, like, do you when you're in the red zone? That's all that matters, right? Like
I hear you.
All the Texans fans are mad about CJ not throwing for over 200 yards last week, but he's 2 touchdowns in the red zone. That's all you need. You don't need to throw him for 200, 300 yards. You need him to score, and nobody's doing better than Matt Stafford or Jared Goff right now.
I hear you, man, but Josh Allen the week before, even though they lost to the Rams, he had 3 touchdowns passing and 3 touchdowns rushing.
Hey, right. I think it's Josh Allen to win quarterback wise, but if there's a dark horse, don't be surprised Jared Goff gets it.
I think Saquon gets offensive player of the year.
Player of the year.
Yeah, I think
that's
because the NFL that they might as well just call the MVP the quarterback of the year. That's what they need to change it to. That's what they pick.
Yeah.
I don't even know why they even consider running backs because they ain't gonna pick them. Like there have been years where running backs have had amazing years, and we all knew they weren't gonna get it because said quarterback threw for 5,000 yards or something.
We might get some flack on this, but I bet Crenshaw stands behind me. People can call me a homer all you want, but 2011, that's J.J. Watt's MVP. That's not Aaron Rodgers. The thing that man was doing was unheard of, and he got snubbed big time. We talk about D'Amico Ryans getting snubbed. J.J. Watt is the biggest snub of all time. Go ahead, Crenshaw. You gonna say something, Crenshaw? You're on me, bud. Go ahead. Facts. Yeah.
No, for sure. All right, let's talk about the playoff picture, fellas. Let me pull this up real quick. Boom. So we'll just look at the AFC right now. We got Chiefs at the 1 seed, Bills at the 2, Steelers at 3. You guys, Texans at the 4. Then we got Ravens at 5, Broncos at 6, Chargers at 7, and then we got the Colts, Dolphins, and Bengals. On the outside looking in, trying to get in. What are your guys' thoughts on the AFC side? Do you think it stays the same, or do you think somebody gets knocked out and comes in?
I'll let you go, Crenshaw.
You might be.
Yeah, you might be muted again. Crenshaw, you there? Nope. Well, I'll kick it up. I think the Ravens. Last I checked, I could be wrong, but I think the Ravens play easier schedule than the Steelers. So I think the Ravens might take the AFC North and jump us and take the 3 spot, which I'd be okay with. because do I think we can beat a Ravens team? I do think we can beat them, but I think the easier route is going against Steelers. I'll take the Steelers in the playoffs.
Okay.
So I think the Steelers and the what's it called the Ravens switch out. But here's no one you might not like. I think the Bills take the number one spot. Man, they're on fire right now. And that injury to Patrick, we don't know how serious it is quite yet. I know he went to practice. I know he's playing on it. But we all know that an ankle is nothing to play with, especially when it comes to quarterback. You know, that ankle, you put a lot of weight on it. So Saturday is a big question mark for me for the Chiefs because, you know, if Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, then, yeah, y'all got this stone up as the number one spot. But, you know, if it's not, I think the Bills jump in. But yeah, I think Texans stay fourth place. I think the goal for DeMeco Ryans is make the playoffs. Made the playoffs now is just stay healthy. So don't be surprised if we just coast into playoff time.
No, I hear you guys. You know, I hear you. You know, as far as Patrick Mahomes' injury, but you know, after his press conference today, I do think he plays this weekend. You know, he said it wasn't as bad as the injury in when he had suffered in Jacksonville in the playoffs, and he played. He played just as good as any, you know, when he played against the Bengals in the AFC Championship game and when he played in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. I just think that, you know, honestly, and I trust me, I hope that Patrick Mahomes never gets hurt, but I don't know what it is about when he gets ankle injuries or whatever, because this ain't
becomes a superhero. He becomes a superhero, man.
He gets more accurate with his passes, and he I don't know, he just locks in a little bit differently when he gets hurt. So I think we maintain, even if we lose this weekend. Here's my hope. Because the Chargers and the Broncos, they play each other on Thursday. I hope the Broncos win that game. Because if the Broncos win, they lock themselves in to whatever spot they're in. Now, if they want the 6th or the 7th seed, maybe they play. But if they lock themselves in, then, okay, let's say we lose to y'all on Saturday, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Pat maybe not even play. Let's say it's Wentz, and Wentz comes out there and we lose on Saturday. And they, you know, get them ready for the Christmas game against Steelers. We beat the Steelers, and we got to win the Broncos game. I'm hoping that they lock it up on Thursday so they don't put their starters out there on their last game because they're already locked in. They want to rest their guys, get them ready for the playoffs, for the divisional round. Bam, because we got a 2-game lead on them, and if we can maintain that lead, even if we just lose one, we'll have a 1-game lead. And if we keep that 1-game lead, I think that, you know what I'm saying, we'll keep that number 1 seed. So, would I be surprised if, you know, Bills end up getting them? We drop a couple. No, I would not. But at the same time, I do think we will. So. I hear you, though. I understand, you know, with the injury to Patrick Mahomes, you know, it's something to watch. It's something to watch. But I do think he'll be fine. I think he'll be, you know, and like I said, I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't be opposed to having Wentz play for 1 game. You know what I'm saying? I think Andy Reid, one thing that's underrated about Andy Reid, he gets the best out of whatever quarterback is in there. So I think he can get the best out of Carson Wentz. And I think we can at least compete with y'all to try to win that game. So,
well, everybody asked me who I got winning the Super Bowl, and I was born that night, but not last night. I might be dumb, but I'm not stupid. It's the Chiefs, man. Like when playoffs come, it's a different story. It's like Patrick Mahomes clicks on that Kobe Bryant mentality, that Michael Jordan mentality. Like it's win or go home, and he's not going home anytime soon. So. Yeah, like everybody's like, well, he sucks the season. Okay, just wait till he gets to the playoffs. That's all that matters. The season don't matter. The playoffs do. So yeah,
what I'm learning from this season, man, is that it's hard, man. It's hard. Nobody's never done the 3-peat, so it's difficult. You're gonna get every team's best. every week in and week out. So it's just difficult, and all the injuries that you got to deal with. It may not be on the Detroit Lions, level of injuries, but man, we can deal with a few of them this year. So
absolutely, yeah. Well, that's with the Texans, though, man. I mean,
yeah,
losing Stephon Diggs and
yeah,
our best linebacker just came back last week. Like, I get it, man. Injuries are the worst.
They are, man. We getting Hollywood back hopefully this weekend, so hopefully we can get him acclimated into the the offense and get him going for the playoffs. But it's just like, man, I hate injuries, and it's the NFL, man. They giving us late bye weeks and early bye weeks, should I say, and the way they position these games is just,
yeah, absolutely. Like, I forget who it was. Somebody was complaining. Maybe it was Bills fans, or I don't know. Somebody was complaining about the NFL scheduling and how that their teams are set up. And I'm like, man, have you not seen the Texans, the Ravens, and the Chiefs schedule at the last 4 games?
yeah.
Like, bro, it's brutal. Like, what are you talking about? So yeah.
And then here we look at the Bills. They got they got New England, the Jets, right. New England.
Right, right. Yeah, it's like, come on, bro. Like,
Jim Kelly making their schedule or something.
That's what I'm saying. We got the Dolphins. Yeah, they're not the Dolphins, but we got the Dolphins, the Chiefs with 6 games to practice, and then we got the Ravens with 4 or 5 days practice. Like,
yeah.
Bro, what are you doing? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But I get it. You gotta make that money, so go ahead.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get into the game, man. Who are some key players that you feel will affect this game if you guys want to win on Saturday?
For Texans wise, man, it got to be Derek Stingley. The dude's getting a lot of hype, and it deserves so.
He does.
To me, he's finally showing he was the right pick in that draft. I know everybody is like, oh, Sauce Gardner this, Sauce Gardner that. If Sauce got drafted to the Texans over Stingley, they would call it a reach. They would call it a bust because that New York media, they hype all the players, and he's been good, but has been all pro level. I don't think so. But Derek Stingley has shown. I mean, he locked down Tyreek Hill for I think 40 yards, if that. 2 interceptions, 1, 2, no. And this is the second one of the year where he ends the game on intercepting the ball. So it's just he's clutch. He's a lockdown corner. So he's a key part. All the key parts really is on defense, man. I don't if we try to go to a shootout with Patrick Mahomes and this Andy Reid period, like you said, Andy Reid makes any quarterback look great for a couple games. It's going to bite us. So the defense needs to do what it does and shut down. I think, look, you might not like me for this, but I think Jawan Taylor is the worst tackle in the NFL. I don't know why.
Have you seen our left side?
I don't know why the Chiefs went and picked him up from Jacksonville because he was the same way in Jacksonville. Yeah. Offsides like a mug, and we can't get the offside that extra snap. He gets beat. So did Mahomes finally get passed for the most sacked quarterback this year, or is he still?
I don't know. I don't know.
He's up there. He's like CJ. He gets hit a lot.
He does.
And Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter are together. They got 22.5 sacks.
Okay.
So if they want to disrupt Patrick Mahomes or any quarterback out there, they got to get after the quarterback. So I think those two guys setting the edge too. I mean, Tim Soto has been a great pickup for us because of those two guys. If you can set the edge perfectly like those have, the middle is just up for grabs, right? And that's what everybody is so gratitude about is the sacks. Oh, the sacks is a sexy sack. Give me a sack. If the edge don't get a sack, they suck. No, man, you gotta look at it. I mean, that are the most in hurries, that are the most for QB pressures. And like I said, if you set the edge, that causes for the defensive tackle to cause havoc, especially in the run game. So, there's no two better in the game right now on the team wise than those two. So those are the keys for the Texans to win this game. And CJ just has to be the CJ the last 2 games. Don't turn the ball over. Make smart moves. Be precise with it. Like I said earlier, he's getting his confidence back of CJ a pass. Like if you look at his swagger and stuff, it's coming back. So hopefully Chris Jones don't eat our lunch, and he can sit in that pocket and make it look like CJ.
Yeah, I would say for us, I would actually piggyback off of that. Like on the offensive side, it's our offensive line, and it's our tackles. Can they hold up against Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter and Andy Reid? Is he going to run the football to take pressure off those tackles? Because last week against the Browns, that was our gripe. Was in the second half. We're up 21-0, but it's like Andy there was probably like two drives where he passed it 6 straight times, and they were 3 and out and within seconds. So you got to run the football. Isaiah Pacheco's back. He looks like he's healthy. He looks like he's the same Isaiah. And Kareem Hunt. Get him in the game and run the football, and go up the middle and use your interior. The interior offensive line. So that I think that's the key is our offensive line in the middle. And as far as defense is like you said, CJ, Chris Jones. If Chris Jones can affect the pocket of CJ Stroud to allow George Karlaftis and Charles Omenihu, who just came back, and he's already that's really been the key of us getting back to getting sacks, is Charles Omenihu getting back on this defensive line, because that was our problem. We couldn't get to the quarterback because George, I love George Karlaftis, but he's more of a second effort type of sack artist. You know what I'm saying? He's not I'm a bend the corner like a Will Anderson or Danielle Hunter.
He doesn't set the edge very well. Yeah. Right. I agree with you. That was one of his flaws coming out of the draft, was he couldn't set the edge correctly. Yeah. So I get it.
So, but with Charles back, he's been, ever since he's came back, George has looked better. Chris is starting to get open a little bit more because he's always getting doubled and triple teamed, because you got to stop Chris. So, and I get it. And the other thing is, don't let Joe Mixon get off, because if Joe Mixon gets off for you guys, it's going to be a long day for us.
The only thing that scares me about Joe Mixon not getting off is Nick Bolton. Bolton, I love him so much. Like
it's funny you say that.
I wish the Texans would grab him in a heartbeat.
It's funny you say that, but there's a lot of people in the Chiefs kingdom that do not like Nick.
Are you kidding me?
I'm serious, because everybody wants every linebacker to be Fred Warner, and I tell everybody, Fred Warner is one of one.
Well, not just that though, but you look at that speed spag that defense, right? Mm-hmm. He's not a typical speed spag linebacker. Mm-hmm. Now you put him in a D'Amico Ryans, you put him in a Robert Soler defense, he could be that Fred Warner for you. Mm-hmm. But he's not in that scheme, so he can't be a Fred Warner. He's more of a Takia Spikes kind of person, where you go rush the quarterback, boom, you put him in coverage, he get you an interception or two. But he's more of a let's go get the quarterback.
Downhill, run ball, hit
ball. Right. Whoever has the ball, mess him up. Right. Yeah. I
love Nick. I'm with you. I love Nick Bolton. That's my guy. I want to bring him back. I love Nick Bolton, but there's a lot of people the Chiefs get to do not like Nick Bolton.
Well, and that's what, like I said, I'm on an AFC South podcast too, and everybody's like, "Oh, Snead this, Snead that, Snead this. Snead's going to lead the Titans to the best defense in the league." I was like, bro, what y'all failed to realize, last year, the Chiefs pass rush was one of the best pass rushes in the league. Like, it was crazy good. Tennessee don't got that. And then now look what happened. Tennessee's not getting the pressure through the quarterback, and there it is. So I mean, that's look, the only bad thing about the Texans when it's the coaching staff. Like I said earlier, I love me some D'Amico Ryans. A lot of the Texans fans are out on Bobby Slower. I'm a little off on him too, but he's getting a little bit better. But they like the conservative. You get up by at least by 9 points, they start bending, don't break defense, and then they start playing for the clock. And you seem like the Marty Schottenheimer days, right? Were you a fan back then?
Of course. Marty Ball.
the prevent defense, to prevent you from winning. Like, dude, I get don't brand mentality, but at the end of the day, you keep your defense out there and your offense doesn't do nothing, it's going to break and the floodgates open and you lose the game. I just you can't let that happen. So if the Texans jump down the throats, they got to jump down the throats quick, and they got to keep the pressure on. We can't have name me another team that has 5 interceptions against the Lions, the best offense in the league, and you still lose that game. Like the Texans are the only team because of that mentality. Like they bend and let teams come back in and they lose. So that's a plus side for the Chiefs. If they just keep consistent and pecking at us, they can come off with the win.
Yeah, for sure. We'll go ahead and do this. Texans win if the offense,
like you said, brother, Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is the Ferrari. All right, let him open on the highway. Don't keep him parked in the garage. Like let him roost. Hit the gas pedal. Like let that man look. If he gets 100 yards in a touchdown, it's over for the Chiefs. I think if he reaches 100 yards, I don't think the Chiefs win this game. I think it was 4-1 when he has over 100 yards. So like let the man go, unleash the beast. Joe Mixon is this Texans MVP this year.
Yeah, for sure he is. If we want to win on offense, Isaiah Pacheco has to get off.
Dude, the way he runs balls, like he's angry at his mama, at his baby mama, at his uncle. Like
everybody loves the way he runs, man.
He's so angry with it. Like, he's like an agile Derrick Henry, man. Like the dude's so fast, but he runs like he's built like Derrick Henry. I just don't get it, man. Yeah. He's a specimen, man.
I love him. I love that he's back. He brings the energy to this offense that we were missing for a minute. So we got to get Isaiah Pacheco going. We got to get him going early, and that'll help with the play action pass to get to Travis Kelce, D-Hop, Xavier Worthy, so on and so forth. And of course, this offensive line has to be able to contain. I ain't gonna say block, but contain those two pass rushers and Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. I think y'all still gonna get a sack or two. Okay, cool, but we got to do enough to just move the football, move the chains, and in the red zone we have to convert to touchdowns. We can't kick field goals. Got to can't kick field goals. Even though Buckner's back, and I love Buckner, but we got to convert those to touchdowns. That's been our problem, is the red zone. We can move from 20 to the 20. Once we get to the red zone.
Same with us, brother. Same with us. Like it's like they rather play for field goals and touchdowns. Like, nah, man. Give me stepping all day. Lucky number 7,
Yeah. So Texans win if defense.
If the defense plays defense, like if they do what they've been done all, I know that's corny to say, but if they play defense like they have been, get at the quarterback, cause interceptions, cause chaos, like a swarm. That's the mentality. Just get to the ball. Look, Derrick Henry locks down D-Hop. It's going to be tough. I love me some Travis Kelce, but it looks like he's just kind of going down and down now. I don't know if he already has one foot out. Thinking about his baby mama soon to be. Like I don't know, but it's just he's not the Travis Kelce. We're like, oh shit, I need to worry about Travis Kelce. So and you might be right. Pacheco might be that key ingredient, right? Like, oh, we know what they're going to do. They're going to try to get the ball to Kelce. So I think you just lock down passing wise. If you lock down D-Hop with Derek Stingley, and like you said, Hunter and Anderson, man, I start drooling thinking about it. I mean, it's dangerous. It's just I love hard-nosed football. Defense, when it comes to the defense, and you look at the dictionary, hard nosed defense, and those two guys are it, right? Like it's just it's great to have. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and on our end, Chris Jones, like I said, George Karlaftis and Charles Omenihu, they got to get to CJ. They got to affect the pressure up the middle. Got to get CJ on one of your guys' guards and then try to affect that pass rush. Make CJ rush some of them throws, and if we can possibly get a couple takeaways, that'll help us out. Make the field short so that Pat or Wentz doesn't have to march down the field too long. And like I said, that'll help us out. Defense getting to CJ and affecting his throws. So I think that's if we want to win.
Absolutely. Trip, I don't know how y'all keep getting cornerbacks after cornerbacks after cornerback. I watched that interview where he's like, "Yeah, man, I just looked at the
jumbotron and turned around." I was like, "Whoa, that's scary,
bro." That's like he's like, "I just turned around and saw the ball there and grabbed it." It's like, bro, like how? But
even though Jameis Winston do be handing out gifts, but still,
right. I actually live up here in KC, in the KC metro area.
Okay,
so a lot of people of my friend at work are Chiefs fans, and I tell like all the young kids, I tell them like, man, the Chiefs are so good because they know how to draft. They know how to draft replacement after replacement. I said, I mean, look, you drafted Snead, he's gone. Now you got McDuffie, and you keep drafting the replacements. Like it's crazy. Yeah. I said the only people you can't draft is receivers. Yeah. So that's about it. So hopefully that's a change.
And look, Rice was looking like he was trending upwards. He looked like he was gonna have.
I still think look when that draft, I was like, I want Rice. That was my guy I circled. We got Tank instead, but I was like, you know what, Tank Dell he's still
good.
weapon.
I like Tank Dell.
Yeah, and CJ's the one who told Nick and D'Amico to go get him. So if that's CJ guy, fine, that's cool. But man, Rice is so explosive.
Yeah, man. I was so mad. Look, I ain't gonna lie, I was so mad at Patrick Mahomes. I was ready to fight him. Like, man, you heard our number one guy.
I was like, dude, and then all the offseason antics. I was like,
yeah,
man, you got, bro.
Yeah, he's probably gonna he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back from an injury, and plus he's probably gonna get suspended next year. He definitely gets suspended next year. I know a lot of people are mad. Oh, he didn't get suspended. You know how the NFL works. They wait for the court proceedings to all the stuff, the litigations and all that stuff, and then they
dealing with the masseuse back, Deshaun Watson. Like I get it. I get the whole, so
you know what I'm saying. They wait till all the proceedings happen and then they make their decision. Like whatever.
Absolutely.
Do you have a score prediction?
I do, man. Look, the Chiefs have been playing good football, but has luck been on their side a little bit? Like when they was against the Broncos, they kicked the ball.
They blocked the
block punt. Yeah, and then a couple of weeks later, they against the Chargers, they don't the field goal in for the win. So I'm hoping luck kind of runs dry a little bit Saturday. But I think it's going to be a defensive game. I still think the Chiefs defense is one not to mess with. So I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I got 23-20, but I think the Texans pull it out. Hopefully, CJ Stroud wins his first cold game. So
for sure. I'm with you. I think it's a low scoring game, especially with Patrick being on that ankle. I think they're going to try to play it with the running game. Hopefully, Andy Reid doesn't try to drop back 40 something times. Your quarterback. Your quarterback is hurt.
Right.
So I think that it's going to be a low scoring game. I'm of course going to pick the Chiefs to win a low-scoring 24-21 game. I think a field goal at the end. I think Patrick get the ball with a minute something left, maybe even 40 seconds left, and they get it down to field goal range for Buckner, and he kicks one in. So I do think it's going to be tight, though. I think it's going to be tight the whole game. Chiefs Kingdom's gonna high blood pressure pills is gonna be out like usual.
Same with the Texans, brother. That's been a Texan story all year, man. Like I have a IV pump next to my chair, so that way
Right.
I got some meds to calm me down.
So
They're killing us slowly. They just don't know
it. Definitely. So, hey man, Chef, I appreciate you and Crenshaw for coming on the show, man. Definitely had to come back and do this again. Maybe next year, hopefully we play each other, or just whenever we just get together and just do a show or whatever. But I appreciate y'all coming on the show, man. Talk about.
Well, thanks for having me, man. It's a blast. It's always fun to talk to other teams podcast and see what they think about it. So it's good love everywhere. You got a good thing going on, man. So keep grinding at it. Keep being great.
Yeah, for sure, man. And good luck rest of the season, man. Going into the playoffs. Maybe we meet each other in AFC Championship game. You never know.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
That'd be a dream come true, brother. Dream come true.
Know what I'm saying? Tell everybody where to follow you guys at and all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. You can follow me personally at A1 Day One Texans, where I do write articles for our network, Fan Battle Sports. And then of course you can follow Texans Fan Battle everywhere. Like Crenshaw said earlier, we got merch going. We dropped last month, dropped the anthem. It's getting some play. So if you like good music, check it out. It's called Swarm with 2 W's. But yeah, man, we're blessed and we're just grinding out here making a name for us.
Cool, for sure, man. So go ahead and follow them, everybody. And Chef, man, like I said, once again, thanks for coming on, man. And like I said, good luck for the rest of the season, man.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
All right, bro. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, man. And this was a great show. Appreciate them coming on the show, man. And on to Saturday, man. Another game on Saturday. We'll see if Patrick play. But I expect him to play after seeing the press conference that I saw today. I expect, and then Nate Taylor, if those don't know who Nate Taylor is he works for the Athletic, but he works for the Chiefs. He's a Chiefs reporter. So he said that Patrick Mahomes is playing on Saturday. So I expect that, I expect him to play. So here we are. So we got the Texans on Saturday, and then we're on the Christmas on Wednesday against the Steelers. So we'll see how this all works out, plays out. All right, good people, going to land this thing. If you look down at the bottom, you'll see the link, emqpodcast.com/locker-room. If you click on that link, you'll see the locker room access of all the podcasts under the Every Morning Quarterback umbrella. They have a 49ers one, they have a Patriots one, they have a Jets one, and they have ours, Arrowhead Chief Podcast. Click on the banner. You'll see all of our episodes from the recent to the past ones. Also, they have the podcast themselves. Go to their YouTube channel, Every Morning Quarterback. Also follow them on X, EMQ Podcast, and Instagram. But they talk about everything NFL league-wide. They talk about college football, and they give you betting tips for the week. So go ahead and follow them, Every Morning Quarterback. Shout out to them brothers over there. And whatever streaming platform you use to listen to your podcast, we're on all of them, from Spotify to Apple to Google to Amazon to iHeartRadio, all of them. Whatever streaming platform you use, Arrowhead Chief Podcast is available. Also, if you're a first-time watcher on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button. So when we go live on Tuesdays, we have, various times when we come on. So you'll always get an alert when we're going on. So just know on every Tuesday, you will see the Arrowhead Chief Podcast. So go ahead and subscribe. Yeah, man, be a part of the family. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, Facebook, whatever you use to do your social media on, follow us at AH Chief Podcast. Follow us there. We'll follow you back. We're not Hollywood. We're just some regular guys who love the Chiefs and we love football. So go ahead and follow us. We'll follow you back. If you have critiques, you have feedback, or you have a question or a topic that's Chiefs related or NFL related that you want us to bring up on the show, hit us up via DM, email, or our mentions. We like said question or topic. We'll bring it up. We'll shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up, man. Also, for all my Chiefs fans out there, we do have merch too. Arrowhead Chief Podcast shirts. That's 3P history on the back with Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce on the back. Go ahead and get your shirts on all our social media links. Print-Fi, we got black, gray, white, and red shirts. $25, $29 with the shipping. Go ahead and get your shirt, man, and show your love. Go ahead and if you get a shirt, tag us in it. You know what I'm saying? And we'll show you love on the show, man. All right, good people. Until next week. Hopefully we're celebrating another W, 14-1, and then we'll be on for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? So until then, I'm out.